Welcome back to the channel, guys. We got a good one here. We got I think it's a 35-ton excavator bucket. It's 50 some odd inches wide. It's a digging bucket. And somebody tried to use it to break concrete, a bridge. So this is pretty bad, and the bucket itself isn't in great shape to start with. These are called the cheeks. This is straight when it starts, so it's seen some use. You know, it's probably a 15-year-old bucket or something like that. Let's take a look here. It was made in 2008. Either way, she's old. She's done her job. It's actually, for the age of it, it's actually not that bad, really. But yeah, this is just pure operator error. Looks like somebody's been in here recently and tried to weld it and broke again. We'll fix it. Had a conversation with the customer, and he doesn't want to reskin it. He wants to spend the least amount of money as possible, which makes my life, you know, it's not as easy this way for me, but you know, it is what it is. We're gonna start by getting it back to where it should be. That's my first goal. I've got it washed off enough. Gonna hook something onto there, up to there, and try and pull this up so that I can assess how close I can get it, trying to get it to touch again, and then gouge heavily in the corners. And then I'm probably just gonna put something on top of it because that's what he wants. He said he didn't go with the cheapest possible option. He said he wanted AR 400 on top of it, not just regular mild steel, which is good. And then we'll look at how bad the bottom is. But like you can see, this has been a problem. Like this is definitely split a number of times. Like there is no point in trying to repair. Like this is already like it's worn. It's worn to the point where it's probably half the thickness it originally was. So it should just be cutting this top plate off. The bit edge actually goes all the way back to there. It should be just replacing all of this into the corner at minimum, but that's not what they want to do. So it's not my bucket. I can't make the decision for them. Let's get into it. Let's try and pull this up to here. We got it pulled up a little bit there, but you can see it's starting to fight itself there, like bind. It's bigger on the top side of the plate than it is on the bottom shear on the 45. It's got past it, now it can't get above it. So we're gonna have to start gouging at some point soon anyways, so I might as well go get the gouger out and try and alleviate this. I'm starting to put more pressure on this clamp than I want to. You can tell somebody's got creative and stuffed pieces of round bar in there. Not that I have a problem with that in certain applications, but in the center of like a 1.5 inch wide piece of metal, it doesn't do anything for you except for make it so you can slick a weld right on top of it and make it look like it's filled up and it's not. Got it pulled up pretty good there. I don't want to go any tighter than that because I got a gouge still, and I got to get all the way through this, right? And all this previous weld that's down in there. So I'm happy with that side. That's pretty good. I got lots of come-alongs on it, that's for sure. The other side probably still gonna need a little bit more. Yeah, I'm still gonna have to pull that in a little more. As long as it's not touching anywhere, it's getting pretty close. But yeah, we'll do a little more pulling here. If I can't get this side, then I'll start welding that side and get it kind of close or whatever. And then oh, there we go. I'll get this kind of welded a little bit so that it can hold itself together, and then I'll move some of these come-alongs over here to pull this together. Yeah, but we're just trying to get the original shape back in the bucket. Get it to the parameters or dimensions that it originally was before we make like improvements or anything like that. Not that this customer is really willing to make much improvements, but we're just gonna get it as close to where it was when it left the factory in 2008 or whatever. Make the repairs and then you do the improvements, the small amount that I'm allowed to do. So, which will just be like a skim inside of here to try and keep this, like pull this towards there, basically. So when it's lifting up. Also, like don't try and break concrete with a digging bucket. Like don't try and break concrete with a 35-ton excavator digging bucket. You know, there's attachments for that. But anyways, that's not my machine. Just here to fix it. Okay guys, I got a good portion of it done. So the inside of there is welded, all the mud and stuff fell into there, but that's done. This needs a few more passes, but getting there. It's getting there. This is the really wide side. Yeah, there's definitely, I saw some little bit of cracking at the top, but when I flipped it over, I realized there's cracking all the way through, down the bottom side. This is the bit edge. This is a wear bar. So we'll gouge into this and weld that up. I'm going to talk to the customer about the holes in it. Pieces of round bar welded in there, so I'm suspect that this has been an ongoing thing. Anyways, yeah, so yeah, weld that. Almost done welding that, and then basically flip it over and do the other side. Okay guys, we're on day 2 now. Got corner, like this is like the shank, and then the cheek, and then the bit edge or cutting edge. Kind of just a million passes in there. Just that's where it was the worst, and it's very thin in the cheeks, so I've just welded like an inch onto either side of the cheek to try and make it so that the cheek fails instead of the weld, because that's all I've got.
Good morning, everyone, or whatever time it is where you're at. We're back on the bucket. It's Saturday morning. We're gonna try and get some work done on this. So I'm not sure where we left off, but the customers wants some more work done to the back side of it now that he realizes how bad it is. Haven't got a full idea of what exactly he wants yet. Kind of hard to reach, but I'm gonna get what the original scope of work was done, and then I'll move on to that. But yeah, so we've got an exorbitant amount of weld on the side there. I have a young guy that works for me, and I told him make it look good and cover this area, and he did exactly what I said. So good on him. There's a lot of material there, but that is not a problem with excavator buckets. That's a good thing. He did a great job on that. So yeah, I finished up the inside, just flipping it around and everything like that, and then now we've made a liner. So this is a piece of AR 400. AR stands for abrasion resistance. It's 3 times. It's got 3 times the yield strength of A36. So it's probably got some kind of additive in it, you know, probably nickel or chromium or something like that. But anyways, it doesn't wear out as easy. The skin of this bucket's very thin. He doesn't want to pay to replace all of it. Excuse me, I got a hair in my eye. Yeah, he doesn't want to pay to replace it. So this is the best thing I can come up with. So we go onto the bit edge, or sorry, the cutting edge. See that there's a little faint white line there. That's like an inch or 2 onto the edge there. So it's attached to a very sturdy, strong point instead of just being attached to the thin skin kind of thing. And then I just cut, this is just like 4 feet wide, so that's just what it is. And then I was trying to bend it, and I was having a hard time bending the AR. It takes 3 times as much force as well to bend it. So I think a piece this wide and thick would have been about 54 tons to bend on a 3-inch opening. Excuse me. But that's regular 836, so I think it would have been 100 and that would be 4 times, so it'd be like 162 tons or something like that. And my brake press is only 110 tons brand new, and it probably doesn't make that anymore. It's very old. So I had to put some cuts in it, and then we bent it just to kind of fit the floor. So I've got like maybe a little bit of a 1/2-inch gap there. It's touching on the backside. So those relief cuts too will help me kind of open it up to what I'm going to do is dogging. It's like there's a lot of different ways you can dog something, but there's either like a wedge style that you can use, or there's like a clamp style. This is not what this is for, but I use it for that all the time, and I love it, so don't give me a hard time. The Fireball tool ones work okay too. They're good. You can like set like the stop backwards and forwards, so that when it starts to lean back, it doesn't break off. It just like leans into the foot. Good tool. Not necessary here. Like, not gonna take very much force. But yeah, this is just sitting here. So you weld this thing down. This is just like a piece of steel cut out in a certain shape, and then this is a wedge. None of this is store-bought, like the clamp is store-bought, but this is just like, this is a drop from something, and I was like, oh, that's a good wedge, and then I just cut this out like randomly one day when I needed it. So yeah, you hammer this in, and that pushes this down as this wedge, like this taper gets bigger, it pushes this down. But before I do that, I'm gonna weld a clamp on the backside so it doesn't just push that side up, you know. Hopefully I can get away with one, but we'll find out here.
These clamps are cast steel, so they don't, like, they're not particularly strong. They usually tear before, like they tear off the side of the clamp before they tear the welds. Probably not the best thing for this kind of thing, but like, I don't, this is already actually sitting here. All I'm really trying to do is just keep it here while I wedge this side down. So yeah, I'll go grab a piece of steel, put it in there. Here's a handy one for you. My buddy Joe, I think actually watches these videos too, so hey Joe. We were working on a project together. Joe has a wicked awesome CNC plasma table. It's like 1,000,000 feet wide, 1,000,000 feet long. It's like 400 amps. He can cut 1.5 inch plate and make it look like it was like a hot knife through butter. Like, guy's awesome. I think he's on Instagram and TikTok and stuff. Flinny Equipment. You should go check him out. But anyways, we were working on a project one time, and he cut me these parts out, and then I don't remember what happened. I don't know if we had to cut them a different size or something. There was a change order. I don't remember. But anyway, so I have a bunch of these. There's 3/4 inch thick plates with 2 holes in them, and like I have the Fireball shim kit, but like stuff like this is great. Like you the same size dimensionally, and his accuracy is like right on. So you've got almost like a 1, 2, 3 block that's good for welding. Like I wouldn't want to weld next to a 1, 2, 3 block kind of thing. So you know, it's like exactly 1.5 inches this way, exactly 5 inches this way, and then exactly 3/4 inch thick. So it's kind of nice to be able to like stack stuff up, fix your table stuff or whatever, and you're not worried about welding on it because it's just a piece of plate, right? But anyways, yeah, stuff like that. You got like pretty tight all the way around. Got a little bit of a high side here. It's sitting up on the weld. Maybe about a less than 3/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8 of an inch. So what I'll probably do is just like tack here, here, and then maybe put this clamp over there and push that side down a little bit more. But yeah, we'll drive this wedge in. Let's see what that looks like first before we get far ahead of ourselves. I guess I can tack these on back here. I washed this thing too. You wouldn't know it. Lots of tacks. You always try to put tacks in places where you can cut them, because if you make a mistake or whatever, you can fix it. I did take the tape measure and make sure this is in the right spot, so hopefully there's no mistakes. Yeah, anywhere where it's touching, you can kind of throw a tack, because that's kind of like a checkpoint, and then you're just trying to flex that particular portion down. If you've got like a relief cut like here, it kind of makes sense to tack on the other side of it so that you can use this relief cut to your advantage. Because if you're tacking in front of it, now it's trying to bend along that line instead of bending along this line. So like it's touching nicely right here. So what I'll probably do is just throw a tack in there, and then same thing on the other side. And then I'm just going to try and force this edge down. You got a finger width gap here, probably 1/2 inch or something, and then hopefully this wedge will drive that down. And all that is just like me misbending. Like it's nothing but my own, you know, mess ups. But you know, you can make cardboard templates and all that kind of stuff, but like I'm not the master of bending or anything like that. You know, I just try to get it as close as I can, and then I'll do welder things to fix it. Okay, so this is that plate wedge dog thing I was telling you guys about. So it's just loose right now. It's just got a couple tacks here, so it could potentially break. I try not to weld it too much because I got to take that stuff off. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have to, but you know, presentation-wise, it looks good. First impressions are worth a lot. But yeah, so it's like almost touching there, and then it's pretty high right there. It's sitting up on a weld somewhere back there. This bucket's been repaired a bunch of times. You've probably already seen that in the video. But yeah, I'm just gonna try and get it to curl down. Okay, so you can see it's touching, it's about 3/16 there. So what we'll do is we'll like tack there, and that's kind of like a placeholder, and then we'll have to move this because this is touching now. So if I hit this more, all it's going to try and do is just break this off. So we'll realistically have to do this in a couple of spots. I was hoping to be able to get away with one, but you know how it is. Okay, so I'm lucky, because I didn't.
weld the crap out of this, I should be able to just knock this off. There you go. I hate using a grinder, so, you know, it's the small ones. Downside of these is that you need a lot of rim on the other side, so drastically starts to lift right there, but I can't get the wedge any further up, so we'll go back there and do those, and then we can put it up here and squish them down with that. Jesus, that's literally just a tack.
Okay, that's it for this one, guys. Here's just a few photos I took for the end here. I did do a little bit more work that didn't record, just on a bit of a time crunch. We did use the Miller, or I guess Ready Arc 12 VST for this one, and the Lincoln Invertech V300 Pro, you'll see in the photo, and the Miller 360P. It was nice to not have to use the generator this time, actually use my shop for once, which is cool. There's some photos here of the finished liner install. Just welded it all down. You saw that. And then the work that we did afterwards is these cracks on the side cheeks. Decided to add a piece of wear plate on either side and then just weld all the way around it. So it should keep them good for a little bit longer. It's not a permanent fix, but it's the best we could do with the budget we were given. So yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. If you have, I really appreciate it. Like, if you have any comments or questions or anything like that, let me know down below. I'm happy to answer them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.